Do you like to experience fear? It's not uncommon for each of us to have felt some pleasure when the dose of adrenaline rises in our blood, creating a happiness hormone. Extraordinary deeds like skydiving, unusual attractions, haunted rooms, or watching horror movies at night all contribute to this thrill. Perhaps visiting ancient castles with a dark history adds to the fascination. What compels you to repeatedly seek pleasure from fear? Today, we'll discuss the top 5 most mystical buildings in the world. These are tourist-frequented places or long-abandoned structures shrouded in an atmosphere of death. Buildings where one cannot simply stay, or places that lure thrill-seekers aiming to spend a night in a haunted house. Throughout our history, there have been quite a few such places, but today we will explore those surrounded by a genuine cult. Places overgrown with stories and legends. 1. Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, California, USA. Many of you have likely seen or heard about the Winchester firearms. And no, we're not talking about two brothers hunting demons. The Winchester family is most famous for Sarah Pardee Winchester, heir to the Winchester Repeating Arms Company. After her husband and daughter's deaths, she adopted the belief that her family was cursed by the souls of those killed by Winchester rifles. As a result of this belief, she began building the Spirit House in San Jose, California. Construction of the house was continuous, adding numerous rooms and corridors over the years. The purpose of these constructions was likely to appease the souls of the deceased. The house was built without a definite plan, resulting in its unique and intricate structure. Upon visiting the house, it gives the impression that it was built by someone either insane or very frightened. Some staircases lead to nowhere, corridors are narrow, and windows are scattered chaotically. Overall, everything speaks of the peculiarity of this 4-story and seemingly charming building. Despite its peculiarities, the house attracts thousands of visitors, and it has been featured in multiple horror movies. Yes, many claim to have personally seen and heard ghosts in the Winchester house. Whether to believe them or not? Who knows? 2. Leap Castle in County Offaly, Ireland. The infamous and brutal O'Carroll clan, known for their bloody feuds. Fathers, brothers, uncles and nephews over the centuries settled their disputes with each other in the cruelest ways. Some of these conflicts unfolded within Leap Castle, owned by the O'Carrolls. Terrifying legends about the castle abound. Some are captivated by tales of a dungeon filled with corpses. The O'Carrolls often dispatched their enemies unfairly, dumping their bodies into a small, well-shaped chamber. Legend has it that the remains of those killed were stored for centuries, and when it was decided to remove and bury them, a new horror emerged. This gave rise to a new terror. The spirit, taking the form of a sheep, abundant animals in the Irish lands, awakened. It roamed the castle, emitting a dreadful odour, resembling a mix of hydrogen sulfide and decay. However, the spirit is not the only ethereal resident of Leap Castle. The Bloody Chapel is home to the ghost of a priest murdered by his own brother, right during the service. Yes, from the O'Carroll clan. So, Leap Castle remembers horrors and atrocities equivalent to those not even dreamed of by Stephen King. 3. Dragsholm Castle on the Odsherred Peninsula, Denmark. The pristine white castle, alluring with its beauty, appears like a clean and pleasant hotel with excellent service. However, most in Europe know of the ill repute of this place. Ironically, it attracts more and more tourists eager to spend a night or more in a location filled with ghosts. An ancient building that has played roles ranging from a prison and fortress to noble chambers. Some tourists claim to hear Latin singing at night, reminiscent of the story of Bishop Ronolf, who died in the dungeon during his imprisonment. There's also a local legend about Count Bothwell, who went mad and perished within the walls of Dragsholm. Some assert they have seen him at night, leaping around corners with wild laughter. Occasionally, he's spotted on horseback, apparently keeping in shape. The horse, of course, is also spectral. Within these walls, the ghost of the Weeping White Lady, or Selina Bowles, roams. She was confined in white garments by her father's command. Yet, amidst the spectres, there's a benevolent one, The Grey Lady's ghost, a servant who loved the place so much that even after death, she refused to leave. Now, she wanders the corridors, willing to aid. Are you ready to accept this help? 4. St. George's Church in Lukova, Czech Republic. A church, a sacred place, or so it seems. Typically, not a location for ghosts and negative vibes, but not in our case. In the middle of the last century, the church was abandoned and left to decay due to lack of funds for its repair. Locals, realizing that seeking help from authorities might be futile, turned to artists. Jakub Hadrava answered the call for assistance. He created 9 sculptures in white garments from plaster and placed them inside the church. These statues symbolized Germans who, during World War II, came to pray in the church. As a reminder that everyone will turn to God, Hadrava positioned his protégés. It's a chilling sight. Imagine being an ordinary tourist, discovering an ancient building, deciding to explore it without knowing its history, completely unprepared for what awaits. Partially, 32 sculptures. The money raised from tourism could have restored several churches, but does it make sense to repair the building? So, it stands in its dilapidated state, and tourists invent tales of the sculptures coming to life at night. Locals, however, prefer to steer clear of the little church. I wonder why. 5. Castle in Comrie, Scotland. Scotland, the land of castles. But does every castle fit this description? Or is this one unique with a dark reputation? Just seeing it, the thought that eerie things are happening inside crosses your mind. Especially learning that it was once owned by individuals fascinated by black magic. The current owner, who acquired the castle for a minimal sum, discovered ancient manuscripts on alchemy, witchcraft, and other devilish sciences in the library. But that's not all the surprises. A large, ominous painting with smeared and unclear contours, hinting at a full-length portrait, caught the man's attention. One evening, after sunset, the painting started glowing in blue and green, revealing a clearer image. As he approached, the painting fell on him. Miraculously, he survived, albeit with an injured leg. But the adventures in this eerie castle didn't end there. Local lads began offering ghost tours, for money, gaining the Comrie Castle a certain reputation. Once, 2 ladies decided to explore the niche behind the fallen painting. Needless to say, no one saw them again. The police and mediums got involved, the latter claiming that the niche was a passage to another dimension. However, no one dared to follow the 2 missing girls into the otherworldly realm. Thank you, reputation. Once, 2 ladies decided to explore the niche behind the fallen painting. Needless to say, no one saw them again. The police and mediums got involved, the latter claiming that the niche was a passage to another dimension. However, no one dared to follow the 2 missing girls into the otherworldly realm. Thank you for delving into the world of mysteries and mystique. We hope this journey through the most enigmatic buildings in the world has unveiled a glimpse of the unknown and inspired you for further exploration. Subscribe to the channel to not miss new adventures and share your impressions in the comments. Until the next mysterious journey.